Wait, I paid for this in self-respect. I paid for this in embarrassment. I paid for this in health. I paid for this in mental health. YouTube channel. It's me, Dyme LaShawn. We back at it again. This is your first time here. Welcome. Come on in and grab a seat. I promise I'll be gentle. I know it's your first time. However, you are already a part of the gang, aka somebody who has already subscribed. Then you already know what's what because you already certified. Let's get it, okay? Now, the stuff that I'm talking about in this video is mainly geared toward intimate relationships, but they can be used interchangeably with platonic relationships, because a relationship is a relationship, okay? Let's just be clear. When I say expensive relationships, I am not talking about money. Money is the least of your worries when it comes to and is compared to the internal expenses, okay? Because money, you can lose that and you can find it again. There's several different ways to remake money or to, reclaim materialistic things. However, sometimes when we lose things internally, it takes us a lot of time and a lot of effort to get those things back or to restore what has been lost. So I want to make sure you guys know that internal expenses is so much more expensive than the money you may spend or the money you may receive from a person. Let that sink in, especially that last part, the money you may receive from a person, okay? We live in a society, obviously, that is, number one, the eye is on the money, the eye is on everything that we can obtain from a thing, a person, an action, the look of something, the illusion of it all, and social media has increased that, obviously, because a lot of us are doing things for the picture, or not enjoying things because we need to get the picture, or dating people because they look good on camera. And behind the scenes, we're not as happy as we could be, or we're not living our life to the fullest extent because we are dealing with people who are costing us just way too much. Just way too much. A lot of us may even meet people and we genuinely like them, and they just happen to come with certain, privileges or certain things that benefit us as well. And then later on down the line, you find out that this person is costing you just way too much internally, and you don't want to leave because now you become accustomed to a certain lifestyle, or you don't want to leave because you feel like you've invested too much.
Or you don't want to leave because you don't want to look crazy. Or you don't want to leave because you're trying to prove other people wrong. Or you don't want to leave because you don't want somebody else to have that person. Or you don't want to leave because you feel like, you'll lose out and somebody else is going to get what you built.
Or whatever the issue is. So you stay in a place that you know is costing you too much internally for whatever reason, just for the sake of staying, just for the staying power. And you end up in a space that you end up losing you trying to keep someone else. That was a bar for somebody. I feel that. I feel that in my spirit. So boom. I'm here to tell you that I understand that and I see you and I get that. And I understand that sometimes it is just heartbreaking to have to say, throw the towel in. Sometimes it's very disappointing to have to throw the towel in and have to, cut your losses or wash your hands with the person that you really wanted to build with or you really saw potential for. But I'm here to tell you that it ain't no bigger loss than you losing you. It ain't no bigger loss. Ain't nobody out here more important than you. I just want to preface this video and say, it ain't no bigger loss than you losing yourself. It ain't no game bigger or worth more than you forfeiting the game on yourself. As somebody who has been in situations that have been very profitable or very financially stable, it came with a lot of other stuff. And this has been something that I've known since I was younger. And not to speak too much on me personally, but just to say that I have had enough sight and enough being heard and enough experience to let you know that just because something seems good or seems like you are losing or forfeiting something, if you were to leave another person, there is no bigger loss than you losing yourself by attempting to keep someone else. I'm spending a little time on that because I want you guys to understand that. Out of all the things that I've seen, I've heard, I've experienced, on the other end of all that, all of those times that, you know, I have tried to keep someone, or I have tried to stay in a place that I know is costing me, not money, but internal value that is costing me internally, I've always fucked myself in the end. Women, we have a track record of trying to stay a place and prove, you know, our loyalty, and prove that we're gonna be this person, and prove that they need to see all along it was us, and prove all of these different things, and it's not giving that. It's just not giving that. There is no relationship, there is no person, there is no situation that is worth you losing yourself for, okay? So how do you know that something is too expensive, and that is costing you too much internally, that this is something that you need to just go ahead and wash your hands with and throw in the towel? First of all, baby, your body already knows. Now, for me, I feel like in a lot of different situations, when I was less aware of just whatever, because I'm an Aquarius and I'm super aloof at times, but when I was less aware and paying less attention and playing dumb, because I think all of us do that at some point or another, because we want what we want and we don't really want to heed the signs and heed the, you know, the messages and whatever else. But when I was playing dumb and playing small, I would know something was going on with me, but I wouldn't really pay attention to what those things were, and I would just keep going deeper and deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole because I refused to accept what I would look at that point as defeat. Now, at this grand old age of 30, child, I can guarantee you that the body knows what it knows. So think about it. When was the last time you found yourself in a situation that you were uncomfortable and your mind didn't necessarily want to agree to it or want to settle in on the fact that you were uncomfortable, or you were not happy, or you were not served, or you were not taken care of, but your body started to do different things? Think about it. I'm going to give us a second. Okay, if you're like, what you mean, girl? What you mean? What I mean is, have you ever tried to have sex with that person that you just love so much, but y'all be having all these different problems, and maybe your good girl ain't get how she supposed to get? No matter what happened, it just desert sands. Or have you ever had situations where, you know, you just didn't enjoy intimacy with a person anymore, and you're like, why? Because I want to be here. Or have you woken up and your stomach is in knots and you like, did I eat something bad last night? Why my stomach hurt? Do I got a stomach virus? Why am I always at the edge of my seat? Why is my anxiety so high? What happened? And you know that to compare this point in your life to another point in your life where that person wasn't there, you didn't feel that way. Think about that. Are you just not really excited to be around other people? Are you isolating more? Are you eating the same way? Are you getting weird vibes in your body every time a person comes around? Are you super defensive every time you're having a conversation with this person? What is going on with your body every time you spend time with this person? When that person leaves, how do you feel? I think the body already knows when there's an expense that you're paying and you're not aware of it, maybe mentally, or you're not accepting it mentally. The body always knows. And if you don't have any of those experiences where you're like, oh, I feel fine, I'm urging you to really pay attention. Something in the body just won't feel right. There will be a certain level of unease or, you know, uneasiness that takes place. Another sign that you can tell that you are entering expensive territory is if after dealing with that person or in your daily dealings with this person, you feel like you lack energy for every other thing. So that's why I think it's important for you to take stock of who you are before you get into relationships or before you hop into certain situations with people, so that you can have a comparative. Because sometimes if you aren't aware about what you were doing before, when you hop into a relationship with someone else or a situationship with somebody else or some type of union of any kind with another person, sometimes it can be really easy to doubt yourself and say, no, but no, I feel fine. No, I feel like I was the same way. Maybe not. And that can throw you off of, you know, your power when you are trying to take inventory of how you're actually feeling and what's going on with you. It is important to take stock of who you are and what you like and your daily habits and your attitude toward most things before getting in relationships with other people, so that if something changes, you will be aware of it. You can tell if something gets expensive by just checking on your energy levels. Before this person, you were super excited. You were super optimistic about the world, maybe. And then the person drains you so badly. Now you're just like, child, I don't care what happens. Just leave me be. Or you are feeling unfulfilled in some way or another because you aren't getting something from your partner, or you are overexerting yourself in one way or another with this particular partner and not being replenished in that way. There is no reciprocal present. And I think that's another way to tell if something is expensive. Not only will your body tell you, but you know, your energy level, your thought processes, how you do things, your daily habits will tell you. Because something will change. A lot of this stuff seems so subtle, and a lot of it is subtle because it happens gradually, like pieces and pieces and pieces and pieces, and so you find yourself somewhat unrecognizable or on the verge of being unrecognizable because you weren't aware and you were not taking stock or inventory of the expenses that were present within the relationship. If a person is telling you, oh, that's your dream, that dream dumb, you need to do this. Or a person is telling you, oh, you thought you could do this, it's either me or this. Or people are constantly putting you in situations where you have to quiet yourself in order to be able to exist in harmony with them. That's a telltale sign that things are getting too expensive. Because there's nothing more expensive, once again, than losing yourself. And if you find yourself constantly being silenced or quieted or changed, then you're paying too much, Poodles. The relationship costs too much. It costs too much. And I don't care what you might be getting from this person. I don't care if you got 50 Chanel bags. I don't care if you're getting Celine just because you snapped your finger. I don't care if you are, you know, living in the biggest house in the world. Are you losing yourself? Can you look at yourself in the mirror and say, I love me because I am 100% happy. I am able to thrive in my authenticity. I enjoy the life that I'm living. I feel respected. I feel loved. I feel cared for. I feel safe. If you can't say those things, 9 times out of 10, your relationship is costing you way more than you're willing to admit. Because I swear for Lord, it ain't no reason for you to be sitting up in the house sharing space with someone that make you feel less than what you are. I hate to say it, and I hope I don't sound ridiculous, but you could do bad all by yourself. Why would you do bad with someone else? And doing bad, I feel like it's relative. It really depends on what the person feels bad is. If you're getting 100 Chanel bags but you really just need a hug, there's unfulfillment there, right? Yeah, you gonna go crazy on the ground. Do you feel loved, safe, and cared for? It all depends on what you're looking for, but I think this video was for those who actually want to live whole, full, beautiful lives without putting too much focus on the gain that they might be getting from someone else or the lies that their mind might be telling them or society might be telling them. Yeah, I think this video is for those people. Women will take a lot of shit. We will. And we'll stay places that we know we aren't being respected, protected, cared for, any of that. Just for the sake of being able to say, well, I tried, I put my all in, I did everything that I could, and whatever the case might be. And then we will exert so much energy there and put so much emphasis there that by the time the relationship is over, we don't really have the same energy. We don't have any energy left to pour into ourselves. We don't have anything to really, you know, pick ourselves up and share with ourselves. And not only that, a lot of us are in terrible relationships, too scared to leave, esteem in the dumps. Because like I said, this stuff happens gradually. A lot of us are in situations because we looked up and we said, whoa, what happened? How did I get here? I see you and I feel that. And so it's never no judgment. But that means that your relationship has become so expensive that you have spent all you have and you are now in the negative. You are internally in the negative because you spent it all on this particular relationship with this particular person and you are not being poured into. And so there needs to be a change made because you're not here to give all of you to another person. You are here to live the life that your creator saw for you and has extended to you for you to live, and to sit there and just be an energy source for somebody else and to allow yourself to be used, abused, and trashed is a disgrace to the people, the things, the legacy that is depending on you to bring it forth, to be there for, and to create. And it's just not giving it because nobody is worth more than you. There are so many of us that are being treated so poorly and being told that you won't find me nowhere else and don't nobody want you and you will never be able to get here, there, and the third. Baby, if you was trash, if you wasn't nothing, if you had nothing to offer or nobody would want you in no particular way or you were useless, why would that person still stick around? Obviously, there's something there. So before you let somebody sit up in your face, play all in your face, get rid of them. Once you realize that a relationship of any kind, even if it's your friend, is too expensive, if it's costing you your non-negotiables, if it's costing you your sanity, if it's costing you your self-respect, if it's costing you how much you love and care for yourself, if it's costing you your health, delete them from your energy source, separate it. Because once a person show you that they don't care, they already testing how much you care about you. Once they do something crazy and you correct them and you like, look, I don't like that, and they do it again, they're testing to see how much she gonna let me do. She trying to see how far I'm gonna go, how much I'm gonna spend, but she already know. Zip zero, stingy with De Niro. You gotta feel that way about your internal valuables. Your internal valuables. And your internal valuables would be, number one, self-respect, your sanity, your health, the seriousness in which you take yourself, your self-esteem. Because I'm telling you, if you lack self-esteem, you're gonna let a lot of shit fly, and you will, not on my watch, not on my watch, because that's how the Dusties be winning. They come in, they make you change your mind about yourself, they take things from you that keep you vibing high, and then they tell you what you can't have, what you're not gonna do, what they're not gonna allow, and you feel like you're at their mercy because you already gave up all your stuff. Don't let nobody run off with your stuff. If you had nothing to offer, if you were worthless, if you were unworthy of any type of love, care, respect, then that person wouldn't be in your life trying to drain your energy, trying to utilize what you have to offer. So this isn't a question about, oh, but it's just me, maybe they're right. They is wrong. They're wrong. And that's number one. That's if you in a space and somebody is constantly telling you negative things about yourself or constantly trying to change you or whatever the case might be. And then you also have those instances where a lot of us are still chasing people that have already made it clear that they don't want anything to do with us, that they aren't aren't going to invest in us, that they aren't going to respect our wishes or our boundaries. However, we still keep going full force ahead because we are trying to prove a point to ourselves and to others that if I can get him or them to see things my way, then that means I am worthy. And that is the biggest lie you will ever tell yourself in this life. It's the biggest lie you will ever tell yourself in this life. Because just because somebody doesn't want what you want in that particular time, or see what you know is there at that particular time, or is not cooperating with you in whatever thing you want them to cooperate on, that does not take anything away from your worth, who you are, and what you have to offer. That just means that that person is not for you, and it's not even their loss. It's just that that person is not for you, and they are not meant to embark on your journey or share your legacy with you, or even be a part of the grand things that God is going to give you. Don't be trying to cling to no dusty. Don't be trying to even cling to somebody that you have the highest esteem in. Because if they don't see it for you, they just gonna mess up your vibe, your frequency. And that's not what we're here for. The bottom line is, what's for you is gonna be for you. Staying in a space that you know is negative, that you know is taking away from a positive life experience, that you know is standing in the way of your personal successes and your happiness and, you know, a high frequency, just for the sake of doing it, or because you are scared, or because you are apprehensive about what lies ahead of you, or because someone is telling you that you will never be able to find better, or because you are getting something that is worldly, i.e. money, or materials. It's just really selling yourself short. Do not ever let anybody in this life come in your space and tell you that they are more important than you. Don't ever let anybody play in your face and make you feel like if you ain't got them, you ain't got nothing. Don't ever let nobody make you believe that they're more important than you, or their needs are paramount over yours, or that you must do what they need you to do in order to live, be, and breathe. Because that is the biggest fucking lie. Only people that are losers try to send those type of messages. Because it's from a lack mindset. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Only those who lack something internally will constantly try to drain and pull and degrade and knock down and, you know, do all of these different things to try to change you, or make you seem or feel smaller than what you truly are. Because they feel like they lack something and they aren't enough. And your life may intimidate them, or they just might be trying to suck your energy out because you are an energy source of some sort for them. Not on my watch. Some of us don't see what we have on the inside, and some of us aren't really aware of what we really do bring to the table. Because we bring the table. I think a lot of us are missing that awareness that reminds us of all that we are and all that we bring to the table and all that we have the power to do. And so if you are unaware, but somebody else sees you and somebody else sees what you can bring to the table, or what you can do for them, or how you can be beneficial, the last thing they're gonna tell you is what they see. The last thing they're gonna do is speak life into you. If they are speaking from a lack mindset, or they are trying to manipulate you or utilize you for something, why would they announce themselves? The last thing they're gonna do is speak life into you. They may do that initially to make you think, oh, they see me, they know this, that, and the third. And then once they have you, that bait and switch, they're gonna go ahead and start draining you for filth on a regular. And then you're gonna look up and be like, why am I losing weight? Or why am I overweight? Or why do I feel this way about myself? Or why am I not wanting to be around people with this person? Or how come I don't do the things that I used to do? Or how come, you know, I don't look at life as optimistic? Or how come, you know, I'm never able to do the things I want to do, but I'm always doing the things that they want to do? And that's why you have to make sure that you are taking accountability and you are really paying attention to your expenses within a relationship. This is your internal ledger. This is your internal ledger. This is not the write your bills down, I paid this, I paid this, I paid that. You need to look at it as, wait, I paid for this in self-respect. I paid for this in embarrassment. I paid for this in health. I paid for this in mental health. Because once you start looking at that ledger and you start understanding that you are spending a lot And let's just be clear, some of these people may not even have intent on hurting you, but it's not about intent. The road to hell was paved with intent. It's not about intent. It is what is happening. And so they could be a great person, but just not great for you. And in that case, you have to make sure you do what is necessary to rectify that. Either do what needs to happen in order to fix said relationship and stay together, therapy or, whatever, or understand that I can love you and not be with you, and I love you very much, but I love myself more, and I'm not willing to accept the expenses that come along with nourishing this relationship. Because sometimes you just gotta fold your cards. You gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away. Sometimes these relationships are so crazy expensive that you end up spending years, time, tears, mental health issues, babies, all the rest of this different stuff, and then you look back on it and say, no, what was I getting out of that? That was so grand. That was so life-changing and fulfilling that it was worth all of this. And a lot of the times, we can't find it, because a lot of the times we're staying in relationships that we know are expensive or know is costing us our livelihood, our internal livelihood, our mental health, our love for self, our respect when we look in the mirror, because of ego. I don't want to lose. I don't want to walk away. I don't want the next person to benefit where I could be benefiting from. This is just not fair. I put in too much. I'm in too deep to walk away now. And all of those things, while I do understand them and I do appreciate them, are lies. Hanging on to someone that you know is costing you your internal value or is just completely out of this world expensive because you are too scared, or I'ma just say it, too pussy to believe in yourself and to pull it together and to accept that some people might laugh, some people might talk shit, some people might not be happy with you, or might be saying, nanny boo boo, and they might be on trying to date that person next. Who cares? You already know that that person has nothing to offer you. You already know that the person isn't giving you what you need. So who cares who gets them next? Who cares who get him or her next? Who cares? Because they can't do the job you need them to do. I think that is something that I really want to share with you guys. Like, a lot of us, we like, I'm just too, but we got kids. If it is making you feel less than, or not making you feel good, or making it hard for you to live a life that you love, get rid of it. Because you know who's going to be benefiting? Those people, that man, that woman, and you know who's going to be suffering? You. And that's why I prefaced the video with, nobody is more important than you. It doesn't matter what your mama says, your auntie say, your grandmama say, they good for you, they gonna be real good for you. You need to just stick it out. Why would you do that? Unless this is something that you guys can fix together, that you guys can come together and communicate and figure out and really put things into place to start fixing and working on it, and they are just as serious about your happiness as you are about them, it ain't no reason to stay in a place that is keeping you down. It ain't no reason to stay in a place that's keeping you down. Why? Because God doesn't want that for you. The people that love you and care for you, and that are living without fear, that are living in an abundance mindset, do not want you to stay someplace or to entertain things that make you feel less than, or compromise your integrity, or compromise your self-respect just for the sake of saying, this is my person. Who cares who get them next? Who cares what happened next? Drake said, we'll see what happens next. Yes, let's see what happens next, because at the end of the day, there are so many beautiful things on the other side of calamity. Why would you stay in calamity due to fear? I want anybody watching this video, do not let fear run your life. Do not stay somewhere that you know isn't serving you, and always love yourself first. The best has yet to come. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!